Some foods may look healthy, sound healthy, and even feel healthy when we eat them, but when combined the wrong way, they can quietly weaken our muscles without warning. And once we reach our 60s, our bodies become more sensitive than before. Small signals from our digestion, our joints, or even our blood vessels can start to affect how strong and steady we feel day to day. That's why in today's video, speaking as someone who works in the field of senior health, we want to take a closer look at a few everyday eating habits that might seem harmless at first, but could actually be slowly working against our muscles, especially if we're not paying attention. And if we've noticed our legs feeling weaker, our muscles feeling softer, or fatigue setting in even without doing much, this may be the right time to step back and reassess what we're putting on our plates each day. Stick with us through the whole video to see if you've accidentally been making one of these combinations. And if you find this information helpful, please tap the like button to support the channel. Share the video with loved ones, and subscribe so we can continue creating more easy-to-understand, science-backed content on healthy aging. 1. Mixing milk with bananas. For many of us, especially as we get older, a banana milkshake in the morning or after a light walk sounds like a perfect choice. It's quick, convenient, and seems healthy: milk for calcium, banana for potassium. But if we're struggling with weak muscles, unstable steps, or legs that tire out easily, this combo may not be as friendly to our body as it seems. Let's break down what's happening inside. Bananas contain a good amount of soluble fiber and a relatively high level of natural sugars. When we eat bananas together with milk, which is an animal-based source of protein, that fiber can slow down how quickly our body digests and absorbs the protein. That might not sound like a big issue, but as we age, our digestion and our ability to extract amino acids from protein-rich foods naturally decline. Slowing down that process even more makes it harder for our bodies to get the nutrients needed to maintain and repair muscle tissue after a meal. On top of that, bananas contain a natural sugar compound called fructooligosaccharides, which acts as a prebiotic that feeds good gut bacteria. That's usually a plus. But when mixed with milk, it can trigger mild fermentation in the gut. For people with strong digestion, that's not a problem. But in folks over 60, especially those who already deal with bloating or gassiness, that combination can feel uncomfortable, reduce appetite, and indirectly lead to lower protein intake throughout the day. Let's imagine a familiar routine instead. Someone in their 60s enjoys starting the day with an early walk around the neighborhood, then comes home and blends up a banana smoothie as a well-earned treat. On the surface, it sounds like a healthy habit. After all, both ingredients are packed with nutrients. But over time, they begin to notice more frequent leg fatigue, less muscle tone, and slower recovery even after light activity. Here's where the real issue begins. That breakfast smoothie, while nutritious on paper, may not be delivering protein in a form their body can efficiently absorb. Day after day, the body quietly misses out on the raw materials it needs to maintain muscle. And eventually, that adds up. So what's a better way to start the day, especially if we want to support our muscles instead of a banana smoothie? We can try a simple glass of milk alongside a slice of whole grain toast with egg, or a warm bowl of oatmeal made with milk. These options provide a solid amount of protein, are easier to digest, and help our muscles get the fuel they need. If we still enjoy eating bananas, we don't need to give them up completely. It's best to eat them separately, about 1 to 2 hours after a protein-rich meal, so they don't interfere with how our body breaks down and absorbs protein from milk or other foods. In short, the real issue isn't whether the food itself is good or bad. It's about timing and how we combine it. Milk is good. Bananas are good. But when mixed together at the wrong time or in the wrong context, the benefits might not reach our muscles the way we expect. 2. Tomatoes and fish. At first glance, both of these foods seem incredibly nutritious. Fish is rich in protein, which supports our muscles. Tomatoes are loaded with lycopene and vitamin C, which are great for heart health and the immune system. But when these two ingredients are cooked together in the same meal, like in tomato fish stew, there's a hidden issue that not many of us consider. This combination may not be ideal for joint and muscle health, especially as we age. Let's take a closer look at what happens inside our bodies when we digest these two foods together. Tomatoes naturally contain a high amount of something called oxalic acid. When that acid meets the calcium or magnesium found in fish, especially saltwater fish, it can form crystals known as oxalates. These oxalates don't just block the body from absorbing the helpful minerals we need for muscle strength. They can also build up in our joints and soft tissue over time. That buildup may lead to muscle stiffness, discomfort, and even a higher risk of joint inflammation and weakness. Some recent research has also started exploring how the natural plant acids in tomatoes interact with the fragile proteins found in fish. The findings suggest this combination might reduce how efficiently we digest and absorb that protein, something our muscles rely on to stay strong and recover after meals. And since digestion tends to slow down with age, older adults may find it especially hard to process a meal that's both high in acid and heavy in protein at the same time. In fact, many people report feeling bloated, fatigued, or even mildly sore in the knees or lower back after eating a meal with tomato-based fish dishes. Most of the time, we chalk it up to the weather or maybe overexertion, but sometimes the real culprit is just a less than ideal food pairing that puts extra strain on the body. Now, that doesn't mean we need to cut tomatoes or fish out of our diets completely. The solution is actually quite simple. Just avoid having them in the same meal. For example, if we're having fish, especially canned or saltwater varieties, it's better to pair it with greens, steamed pumpkin, or broccoli, rather than tomatoes. And if we're craving tomatoes, they work much better in a dish with tofu or a bit of lean meat. It's easier on the digestive system and gives our muscles a better chance to absorb the protein they need. We can still enjoy the benefits of both these foods. We just need to keep them apart on the plate. That way, we support better nutrient absorption and steer clear of the kinds of hidden reactions that may be quietly working against our muscle health. 3. Green tea after an iron-rich meal. Many of us think that having a cup of green tea after a meal helps freshen the mouth, ease digestion, and make us feel lighter. But here's something we don't often consider. If we make a habit of drinking green tea right after meals that are rich in iron like beef, liver, eggs, beans, or leafy greens, we might not be doing ourselves any favors. In fact, the harm could quietly build up over time. Green tea is packed with beneficial compounds, especially one called catechin. This powerful antioxidant is great for heart health, and it helps us stay alert. But here's the catch: catechins can block the body's ability to absorb non-Him iron. That's the kind of iron found in plant-based foods and some animal products. This form of iron is already harder for the body to take in compared to the iron from red meat. And when it runs into catechins, absorption can drop significantly. That means we might be eating enough iron, but not actually absorbing it. Now, when the body doesn't get enough iron, it's not just our blood that takes a hit, our muscles suffer too. Iron helps carry oxygen to our tissues through a protein called hemoglobin. If we don't have enough iron, our muscles don't get the oxygen they need, and that leads to faster fatigue, muscle weakness, shaky balance, and slower recovery after movement. For older adults, these symptoms are often mistaken as just getting old, but in many cases, it could be due to a long-standing iron deficiency. Let's picture someone who eats fairly well beef, eggs, greens, all the right stuff. But after every meal, he pours himself a warm cup of green tea to help digest. Over time, even with a good diet, his body struggles to absorb enough iron. He starts to notice his legs feel tired more often. His hands get shaky when lifting heavier things, or he finds himself winded just going up a flight of stairs. And the root cause might be a simple habit that seemed harmless. So what can we do? No need to cut out green tea completely. It still has many benefits. The solution is all about timing. Instead of drinking it right after a meal, we should wait at least 1 to 2 hours. That gives the body time to absorb nutrients before the tea gets involved. Also, when we eat iron-rich plant foods like beans or spinach, pairing them with something hot in vitamin C, such as oranges, strawberries, or bell peppers can help boost natural absorption. This is a small shift, but over time, it can make a big difference in how strong and energized our muscles feel. So, throughout this video, we've explored 3 food pairings that sound healthy on the surface, but when combined the wrong way, can gradually weaken our muscles without us even noticing. The first was milk and bananas. Both are nutritious on their own, but having them together may cause bloating and reduce how well we absorb protein, which is key for keeping our muscles strong. The second was tomato with fish. This combination can create compounds that are hard on the joints and muscles, and over time, may contribute to chronic inflammation. And lastly, we talked about drinking green tea right after an iron-rich meal. That habit can block iron absorption and eventually lead to low oxygen delivery to the muscles. Now, none of this means we need to cut out these familiar foods. The key is understanding how to pair them wisely and adjusting just a few small habits each day. With the right approach, these foods can actually become powerful allies in keeping us healthy and strong. If you found this video helpful, we'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to our channel so we can keep bringing you more clear, practical health tips just like this one. And if you've ever combined any of these 3 food pairs in your routine, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. See you in the next video.